This is Derek from Prestozon, and today I'm here to talk about analytics. As you can see, we're going to start on the analytics page. This is a great way to look at an overview of your account. We're going to start with charts. We can see the different metrics that you can look at. I just selected sales here. I've got ACOS over on this side. I can switch that to CTR, conversion rate down here. Maybe I want to take a look at impressions. There's a lot of different things you can do here. You can also take a look at date range. As you can see, we're using testing data for this demo, so it's a little out of date, but that's okay for our purposes. You can also change your filters here, sponsored brand, sponsored display, sponsored products. We also have the ability to filter by campaign or ad group so that you can look at a subset of your campaigns. From this page, you can then get a little bit more granular. You can come in here and you can start looking at Campaign Explorer. As you can see, the filters applied, transfer across. I can get rid of those and I can see all the campaigns. So this will let me look through here and see what's going on, see if I have any issues. As I can see down here, Cape Broad is at 112 ACOS. So maybe this is a campaign that I want to look into. So I can come over here, I can click on Cape Broad, and it's automatically going to bring me to the keywords within that campaign. In this particular instance, there's only one keyword. So I can actually click into that keyword and manage bid right here. It's only one keyword, it's a bad ACOS, so maybe I want to bring bid down. So I'm going to click this little magic wand right here, and that's going to bring me to the keyword detail page. This has bid history. As you can see, it's currently a straight line. It has, right now it's ACOS by default, but I can change those metrics to something else if I want to look at spend. And up in the upper right, I can change the bid. So this is test data, so it's not going to quite work properly, but I can come in here and change the bid to whatever I want. And then it would also restart the experiment, because as you know, Prestozon uses the time since the last bid change as its metric for analyzing bid for our bid suggestions and our bid automation. All right, I'm going to go back to the analytics and I'm going to come back into Campaign Explorer. I'm going to get rid of this filter. And so now I'm going to get a little bit more granular on the account as a whole. I'm going to jump over to the Keyword Explorer at first, and I'm going to take a look at the keywords. As you can see again, you can immediately, using this ACOS color coding, find out which of your keywords are really hurting you. You can get even more granular by using this breakdown expansion, and you can come in here and take a look at search terms. Keywords and search terms are really the level at which you're going to be doing a lot of the management on your account, right? Keywords are what you're going to use to manage bid, again, by using this little magic wand, if you want to do it on the Prestozon side. And search terms are your actual touch point with the customers. So this is really what the customer is searching in the Amazon search bar. So it's really, really important to take a look at the search term level. And you can see some interesting things, right? Like on the keywords, especially if you're using broad or phrase, you can see that different search terms are going to perform very differently along the same keyword. And so that's important to understand, because if you're managing bid on a broad keyword, you might have some search terms that are running at, for instance, 21% ACOS are really successful for you. And then you might have other search terms that are running on 54% ACOS, not as successful for you, and it's on the same keyword. So that's why we suggest always managing bid at the exact keyword level and using search term isolation to make sure that you've got a one-to-one relationship between the search term and the keyword. So let's go over to the search term explorer and actually look for that one-to-one relationship. So over here, I'm looking at the search term explorer. I'm looking at all the search terms in our account. This is a really unique view. A lot of tools aren't able to look at search terms across the account. And if they can, they can't break out by campaign across search terms. Usually it's just one silo after another that looks down through the campaign level, but we can actually look across campaigns. So we can see that this search term, wool top hat, for instance, is under the magician's hat, research performance, and auto campaigns. That's a really unique view. That's not something that you're going to get everywhere. Typically what I'll do if I'm looking at an account is I'll come in and I'll look at the search term explorer and I'll expand out keywords to see what's going on in terms of the relationship between keywords and search term. As you can see here, our top performer, Magician's Hat, it has a one-to-one relationship between Magician's Hat, the search term, and Magician's Hat, the keyword. This is exactly what we want to see. This is search term isolation. This is making sure that if we manage bid on the keyword, we're only affecting this one search term. Versus if we come down here, you can see that wool top hat is a single search term, but it's actually got 3 different targets that it is hitting. And so this is potentially an issue. And it's an issue because if we manage bid on any one of these 3 keywords, we're not really managing bid on the search term because we have the potential that we're just going to shift impressions between these 3 keywords. And this is something that you can see immediately by just looking at the search term explorer and expanding out keywords. And so it's a unique view and it's really invaluable to manage your account. If you want to make any changes, for instance, in this situation with wool top hat, I want to make sure that it's only showing up in this exact wool top hat keyword. So what I can do is I can actually come right over here to this neg button. I can click here and it's going to bring me to a little window where I can actually create a negative keyword right here in the application. So the defaults are great. They're going to make an exact. It's going to use this text, but I could actually edit that text. And you can decide which ad groups that negative keyword is going to go into. So in this instance, I want to make sure that my performance group that has the exact keyword is not going to create a negative, because if I did create that, then it would just shut off impressions altogether. So I'm just going to deselect that. It's going to create the negative exact in the research and the auto, and then I can go and create 2 negative keywords. And so that is going to do that right away for you. The other tab that you've got that's kind of interesting is the Aysen Explorer. I really like using this when I'm auditing accounts over date ranges, because if you're seeing your ACoS go up or down, sometimes it has to do with PPC, but sometimes it has to do with just the sort of natural evolution of your account. Maybe you have a new Aysen that you've launched in the past couple of weeks and the conversion rate is way better or way worse. And so the Aysen Explorer is really nice to be able to see, hey, what are my Aysens doing? Have I introduced something in here that may be affecting my account sort of outside of just the base PPC metrics? So that is analytics, and I hope you enjoy it.